What's going on, Spurs fans? A lot to talk about today. We're going to be going into game reviews of these past couple of games against Milwaukee and Miami, and some really big news coming out of the NBA on February 1st, nearing the trade deadline with the Lakers and the Mavericks. So let's get into it. All right, so first and foremost, Spurs fans, we are looking at a couple games back against Milwaukee. The Spurs had a great game against Milwaukee. They won 144-118. Wemby started off slow, but the third quarter he really picked it up. So really awesome to see the Spurs get a W against a team that I think they had beat us 4 times in a row. So great game against them. They only had 6 turnovers, I believe. Yes, and that really made a difference for us, just really out hustling them, having a great shooting night, especially from 3, and they really struggled. Out rebounding, and let's see if we had assists. 37-24 assists, so really moving the ball against Milwaukee. Looking at Miami, a little bit different of a story. A really good game. The Spurs came back down quite a bit. But nonetheless, we had an opportunity to win with Chris Paul. You know, he's hit it a million times. But Bam Adebayo, with no time left, a complete dagger with a fading away, almost long 2. So tough shot. But Bam has been an all-star. He's a superstar. So not surprised that he hit it. And just really Miami out-hustling us, having a pretty good shooting night. We struggled just overall shooting 41%, not horrible, 42, but just off. You know, we had fewer assists, fewer rebounds, so they really hustled a bit more. Steph Castle fouled out late in the game, so that hurt us as well with defense. But nonetheless, you know, with a season, we're keeping the games close. We just have to fix really minor things. But the big news coming out of the NBA is the Los Angeles Lakers acquiring Luka Doncic, as well as Maxi Kleber and Markieff Morris for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and the Lakers 2029 first-round draft pick. We actually own the Mavericks 2030 draft pick, so I'm sure they're glad that they were able to get a pick back. But nonetheless, Luka Doncic, a complete superstar, Hall of Famer, franchise player, being traded from the Dallas Mavericks, where I'm sure everyone thought he was going to be forever, like Dirk, going to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis, who is, you know, equally as good. Well, maybe not that, but a superstar in his own right, going to the Mavericks. Now, I don't know if they're necessarily rebuilding because they still have Kyrie. They still have a good core, but Luka is Luka. On the flip side, you know, the Lakers, who is their big man now? And I know the NBA is a little bit different now, but they still need a big man. So it's interesting what other moves they may make. But adding Luka Doncic on top of LeBron James, who just seems to never age, we'll see. We will see how that goes. But I think this is really good for the Spurs for 2 reasons. One, now the trade market might be less valuable for someone like De'Aaron Fox. I think the Mavericks could have got a lot more for Luka, and they didn't. So I think this may show teams now that there's just a difference in what is expected from a trade, not giving as much. So that helps the Spurs if they truly are trying to acquire De'Aaron. The Spurs have been on the record saying we are not trading Stephon Castle. He is untouchable, which is great news, expected news. But we'll see if Keldon, Devin, other trade pieces, not encouraging a trade because I think we do have a good core and the draft can really help us next year, especially with Atlanta now moving down the rankings. But if you can get top talent to upgrade the team, you do it. Is De'Aaron Fox someone who takes us to being a championship contender? I'm not sure, but he's a great player. I believe he's been an all-star snub a couple of times, but I also do think he's hit his ceiling. So it's interesting how the front office feels about this, but nonetheless, rattling news coming out of Dallas and LA, big-time markets for the NBA, and a superstar talent in Luka going to the Lakers. Also, this is my other reason. I think Luka it's tough playing in LA. We'll see. Maybe he's successful, it works out, but if not, maybe he's going to look elsewhere after a couple of seasons of just what could be a headache, new coach. You know, I'm not saying LeBron James owns a team, but we've heard of stuff like that. Luka's a top talent, but who knows? We'll see how it unfolds. But breaking news in the Western Conference coming out of the top-tier teams, playoff teams. So hit that like and subscribe button, guys. I know this is a Spurs related channel, but this directly impacts the Western Conference, which the Spurs are competing in. So let me know what you guys think of the news, and we'll talk to you guys later.